Oh, in the last episode, we came to the radio tower and we completed it. As you can see here, there are still things here. Why is that? Well, let me explain. If you return to a island that you've already previously visited, all of the items that were story-based, like chests and stuff, will still be missing. However, items such as scrap metal and plastic, those will respawn. This is actually a good strategy because if you constantly run into these radio towers, you get plenty of scrap metal and plenty of plastic. This is actually a great way to do it. And I wanted to show this off because this is a very important thing to know, because a lot of people will probably run out of plastic or run out of scrap metal. Well, this is how you get more of it pretty quickly. Because scrap metal and plastic are two of the most useful items, but are also some of the rarer stuff. Like, the only way to get scrap metal is from islands, and the only way to get plastic is from drifting in the ocean. As you can see here, you can also get extra blueprints. So if you do miss it, you don't have to worry about it. This is actually a small patch that I didn't realize was a thing until a very specific recording thing. We'll talk about that in a second, but hang on. Come up here, and we can go grab some more stuff. Grab that. Alright, cool. Grab that. Come up here. Boo. And we go all the way to the top. Yeah, that's everything. So this place doesn't have that much plastic. I got about 17 plastic and 12 scrap metal. That's pretty decent. Not to mention, if you come to this place, you can also get the stuff off of the island itself, because this is technically island spawn stuff. So there's a difference between story element and island spawn stuff. So these are technically islands. These are their own type of thing. They will always generate scrap metal and stuff like that, including the enemies which spawn in with the island. That is why you can return to this island, grab a bunch of scrap metal, grab a bunch of, you know, whatever they have nearby, and the only thing that's missing is these story elements because you've already done them. So I like that because that basically makes these islands a lot more farmable than what they look like before, because that means you can come here, grab all the, you know, scrap metal, all the plastic, all the, you know, clay and sand. You can grab all that multiple times, and sometimes they might have, you know, special items that you need, which we'll get to later. But for right now, just grab what you can. Pretty good stuff. Alright. Doesn't look like there's any metal ore, so I'm just gonna leave. Now, with the introduction of the radio tower, we actually also get something special called a crusher. I didn't unlock it yet because we didn't unlock it in the previous thing. So what happened? Well, YouTube got on my butthole about cursing, I guess. I really don't know. They didn't tell me exactly. I kind of had to just assume what it was, and I assumed that it was cursing. More than likely it's cursing, because I don't see any, like, sexual activity or whatever they said. You know, they said something about sexual activity, something about graphic visuals. It might be graphic visuals because, you know, you do kill the bad animals. You know, you kill the screecher and the hog. But then again, like, you know, is that really a bad thing? That's like hunting. Oh well, maybe hunting is bad, I don't know. But then they also have the goal to say, you know, this could be impressionable, whatever the word I'm looking for is. Basically, like, kids can replicate it or some crap like that. And I'm just like, I'm not for kids, number one. Number two, how the hell are they going to replicate building a bow? How are they going to do that? Stupid. Dummy. Moron. God damn. I'm allowed to say god damn, because I'm not saying it fully, you know what I'm saying? That's fair. Anyway. So yeah, they kind of got on my butt about that, and you know what? It's whatever. YouTube's just gonna YouTube. YouTube's always my problem. Oh well. At least I have my viewers, you know, that's all I really need. And I also learned that one of my favorite YouTubers that has 9,000 subs, they only get about 100 to 200 likes per video. That is freaky to me. That is unheard of. Like, if you have 9,000 subs, you should at least get like 500 to 1,000 likes per episode. But no, this person only gets 200 to 300, 500 if they're lucky when it comes to likes. And I'm just like, what do you mean? What do you mean, dude? Like, it really should be triple that. You know, it should be triple 300. You know, you should at least get 1,000 for having 9,000 subs. That means 9,000 people subscribed and don't watch regularly. And that freaks me out. That freaks me out heavily. Good grief. That bothers me more than anything in the universe, because that just shows how short of an attention span a lot of these people have. Like, I have some, like, followers that actually watch my stuff. But, like, this person has 9,000 subscribers, 200 to 300 likes. I'm just like, what's going on, YouTube? That's bullshit. That's YouTube, man. That's bull. Oh well. So I'm starting over. This is not the same world, obviously. I started over because I already had a bunch of footage, and I decided to start over because it's just like most of the videos had a lot of curse words in it, and I don't feel like getting destroyed by YouTube anymore. So, you know, I guess I'm not gonna curse no more, or at least I'm gonna try not to curse. It's gonna be hard, but you know, like, if I curse, you know, they get me, so I don't want to be got. I don't want to get got, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to get got. Alright, let me do this. Also, this will be the first episode that is based around what y'all voted for, because y'all voted. Don't forget to vote. Always vote. You know, if I say there's a poll or something, always vote. Your opinion matters to me. And y'all said y'all wanted longer vids, so alright. So each video will be roughly about 30 to 50 minutes long. I know I said an hour, but it's kind of an exaggeration. An hour is the maximum. I should have really put the minimum. So, yeah, I said an hour. No, it's about 30 to 50 minutes. Basically, it's 2 episodes in one, and then you got 1 episode a day after another. Basically, one after another is no longer going to happen, because I did one after another, and not everybody was able to see it. So, instead of it being, you know, one after another, it's just going to be one every other day. So by one every other day, I mean, like, one's going to happen, and then the next day is going to be quiet. But you also get more shorts, so pay attention each day if you want to watch the shorts. Shorts are real quick. I don't think anyone would really hate a short, really. A short really isn't that bad. But some of them are going to be, you know, game tutorials. Because I did have one commenter that said, I really enjoy your DST tutorial about the Bee Queen. And I was like, that's amazing. Somebody actually cares about the Bee Queen episode. I didn't think anyone really cared because it was kind of cheating. But, you know, somebody cares about it. You know, that makes me happy. You know, I really enjoy comments. Every time y'all comment, I get a little bit giddy. I really like that. Because it's basically somebody telling me, you know, their opinions about my content. And I like that. I like being able to be told, hey, you know, this is what I think about your content. There you go. Even if it's like a mean opinion, because at least it's, you know, something, you know. But I don't like those kind of comments that are very vague. I don't like vague explanations like, oh, you play a poopy game. Like, I don't understand that. Explain exactly, you know, why you don't like it. What the hell was that? I saw that for like a half second. I'm going to have to pause that. I don't know what the hell happened there. Something happened. Anyway. But yeah, I like getting a lot of good comments, you know. And I mean, by good comment, I mean like an example of like what you mean by why you don't like it. Because I don't get it when people say, I don't like a poopy game. Like, why is it poopy? You know, if you told me, like, oh, well, I don't like this game because it's grindy and there's not a lot of good moments, you know, and it's mostly just you collecting items, I'd be fine with that. That's respectable. You know, if somebody says something like that, then it's like, yeah, of course. You know, if you don't like this kind of game because it's too grindy, then yeah, there you go. But if you don't like it just because you don't like it, then it's like, well, why? You know, that kind of bothers me. You know, like you hate something, but you don't give an exact explanation of why you hate it. And that just, it confuses the ever-loving crap out of me. You know, as a content creator, I need to know, like, why you hate something, why it's no good, and all that. Otherwise, I'm going to be like, huh? 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 Anyway. This is a crusher. There are 4 different things I like to put in the crusher. One is wool. Wool's easy. You know, you get it, llamas, wool basically comes naturally. The other thing is clams. Clams are just stupid. Not like a stupid animal, but like, it's stupid how you can get so many clams and they only get used for nests. Like, this is the only reason to have clams, is to make a nest out of it. I don't get that. That's weird. It has one use, and that use is very non-useful. So how clams work is they count as 5 as one, wait no, 6 as one trash cube. I believe it's 6, not 5. So 6 clams equals 1 trash cube. And you need trash cubes to trade with the trader in order to get, you know, bait and items and stuff like that. There's all kinds of things you can get from the trader, and a lot of them are very helpful items. I recommend going to the trader as much as often because he can give you, or she can give you all kinds of things. I don't know, is it a he or she? I don't know. They don't really tell you a gender, and they don't really tell you who this character is that trades with you. I'm assuming it's a she, actually. You know, we'll say a she. That's more fun to think. And a bloop, bloop. And then a bloop. Produce. Go. Blend. I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. A little bit closer. A little bit closer. I don't want to like swim that far. A little bit more. There you go. That's close enough. Loot. Place. Open. There you go. Okay, trash cube. Any second now. Any second now. See, look red. No, wait. That's blood. Three, 2, 1, go! Oh my god, it takes forever. There you go. So we got 1 trash cube. Not very useful, but hey, you know, it's trying. So let's see. Put away the leaves. I'm gonna have to crush all these leaves. They're annoying. There you go. What else do we have? There you go. That's what I needed. I was about to say I had something. I gotta remind myself what these are because I'm stupid. Plastic, wood, leaf, something. Blueprints. Yes. Seeds. Bottom one's random. Yeah, leaves. There's animal products. That's what it is. Obviously, these are raw materials, and this is refined materials. I don't remember what this one is. Oh, this is ground stuff. Stuff on the sea floor. There you go. Whee! scrap. There you go. These are done. Let me put these down. There you go. These are not that useful as food items, but we have so many of them, you might as well cook them. There you go. Where we at? Yeah, these are almost done. I just need a little bit more copper so I can make another crusher. The thing is I need 2 crushers or 3 crushers. 3 crushers is optimal. 2 crushers is useful. So let me do this. There you go. See how many refined metals I have. Let me get that, and then let me go over here. Yeah, plastic is what we need. Boom, boom. There you go. Crusher. That'll do. That'll do. It's a whole lot of batteries too, but I think I'm fine with using up that many batteries, to be honest. I don't think that's such a big deal. Okay. Sort. We got 5 metal, which isn't good. We need more metal. We got 6 hinges and 8 bolts, which is fine. But we do need more metal than that. So we used up a ton of metal for those crushers. But crushers are very helpful, so I don't really mind too much. But it does suck that we used up that much. However, if I go to batteries, 1 per thing, 3, okay. There you go. Make sure it's full. These are almost done. 3, 2, 1, go. Sorry I'm like working on things, but I really want to get this crusher going, because with these crushers I'll be able to do a lot more. Alright. Here you go. Here you go. Now then, take some leaves. Because we got so many. So it should be 30 leaves, right? Yes, 30 leaves. Okay, 30 leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. Because it takes 2 per thing, right? Yeah, it's 15 rope per thing, yeah. It's just faster. And clams, and then just throw in some random garbage until it's done. There you go. Okay. Water the crappy crops. Thank you for the eggs and the wool and all that. Let me grab the wool. Bloop, bloop. How much wool we got left? 3. Those are almost done. Animal products. Yep. Blend. God damn, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. Blend. Oh, it doesn't blend. It doesn't blend when I want it to blend. There you go. 4 trash cubes. I think that's enough to get what I want to get. I think that's enough. Yeah. Okay. Whee! Oh shit. Oh, thank you. Let me make sure I loot this, because this is gonna bother me if I don't loot it. Hey! That ain't nice. Come on now. Sorry this is such a not so interesting episode, but you know, we're just coming back and we're just starting out, and yeah, takes me a hot second to pull myself together before I can actually, you know, do something. Actually, hold up. I need to do this. There you go. Blended. Give me that. Speaking of blended, I think we should start working on that other thing, too. Yeah, let's work on that other thing, because that other thing need to be done. Yep. Alright, let's do this. Wood. Just get a stack of wood, get a stack of plastic, get some things. Make one computer chip. Boom. 2 metal, you say, huh? Alright, fine. And a single goop. I can do that. After I make a thing. Where'd my thing go? Man. Can y'all finish now? Like, good grief. We're on, like, the edge. Nope. Ah! Yeah! I thought I got him. There you go. So we got the blender. And we got the battery for the blender. We just don't have the stuff. Yeah, and that's almost done, so go get the wood. There you go, champ. Ooh, food. There you go. Well, that's got to be moved. Okay, no, not that rogue, this rogue. Alright, gotta be quick. Load in. Holy shit. Awesome. That's a lot of room. That's a lot of missing room. I gotta move it. Hang on, hang on. There you go. Good grief. Wood. So what is this magical thing that I'm building here that looks like this and looks pretty and all that? This is the crock pot. This is the blender. Blender can blend, you know, smoothies, so we can get our beet nut finally. Get our beet nut. There you go. And also, we can finally get my favorite food. Shark dinner.
Huh?
1, 2, 1, 2, go. So what is shark dinner, and why am I crafting that instead of that head broth there? This is a good recipe, don't get me wrong, but I rather want this, because it is cheaper and easier to come by, including this, which is also cheap. However, I think the other smoothie is better than this one. Not this one, but another one that I'm thinking about. There's another smoothie that is definitely better. So these are optional. Let me grab the ones that actually matter. Put them over here. See, these are optional. These are pretty good. These are helpful. Oh my god, another shark attack. Where? I don't know where he attacked, but I don't like it. Ah, man. Gotta make another thing. See, that's what I'm talking about. We just come back and we have a whole bunch to do and got a whole bunch to see and yeah. It's just a lot. There you go. I took it out because I was thinking about using it, and that's why I took it out. Need to put it back in. Alright, are we done? Are we done with this? Oh my god. Trash cubes galore. 1, 2, 1, 2. There you go. We are done. Sorry if this is a lot to take in. There you go. So now, we have proper food, which means we will need glass and we will need clay. Smoothie. Shark dinner. These are two of the most broken items in the game, which is cooked foods and cooked smoothies. Look at that. That's basically 2 water bottles worth of water. Right there. So that blue bar is extra water. If you have that, it'll essentially prevent your water from going down for a little while, giving you a lot more of a boost. But you also get extra food. And food is a whole lot better than water. Because obviously water you can get a metric ton of and carry it around. But with food, it's kind of harder to get a ton of food. So, there you go. Alright, let me drink these milks. I don't like wasting milk for smoothies. Because smoothies are good, but, you know, milk basically cancels out a lot of the smoothies. There you go. See, and then that's done with, and you can grab it. There you go. Let's see if I can think of another smoothie off the top of my head. I think there's one that I can think of at the top of my head. I think this is one. 1 mango, 1 of these, and 2 coconuts. I think that is one. Now, why am I putting in very specific things and not going all in? Well, I will show you, dear viewer. If you put random shit in, including in the smoothie maker, you'll get leftovers. It's fast, but it wastes all the food's value. So those 4 berries would be more nutritious than whatever the hell is coming out of this thing. Ugh. Kind of grody. It's got like a fish in there. Ugh. You can have that. You can keep that right there. Ugh. Kind of upsets my stomach just looking at it because it's like, it's literally just fish in a green soup. Why is it green? Why is it green? It's just, it doesn't make any sense for it to be green unless it's like got plant in it, but I didn't put any plants. I put berries. What the hell? Mother can't cook worth the damn. Excuse my foul language, but still. That was nasty looking. Alright. Put that in there. Let's grab the seaweed and cook more of that. We need a lot more seaweed than that. There you go. Now we can go to the island. Let's go to the island. Ow, you are a butthole. What did I do? I ain't do nothing. Big bully. Alright. She's mean. Okay. What do we have? We have 1 canister, so I'm gonna just catch 1 animal. I don't feel like killing more pufferfish because it doesn't make any sense to me right now. What does make sense to me? Thank you, Gumbus. It's really easy to trick Gumbus into glitching him to himself. Really easy. Anyway, this store, as you can see, it says sale, and it says things like a cool hat, a compass, some chilies. It even has some cool things right here that I can barely see. We will need fishing bait. We'll just grab as much as we can. Pull out the fishing rod, open up to the fish food, and you go down and you wait. Sorry, I'm being quiet. Kind of hard to think of things off the top of my tongue to talk about. There you go, and there you go. We got coins. Now we can buy things. Obviously, you can buy scrap and plastic and boards. Scrap is going to require coins, but boards and plastic, you can buy that. This is why I don't use plastic and boards for trash cubes. Because you can just buy plastic and you can buy boards. That can be helpful. You don't want to waste plastic and waste boards to make one trash cube. I think it takes 30 plastic and I believe 20 planks to make one trash cube. So you are wasting quite a lot of money if you do this. However, the scrap metal is probably the better thing to buy because wood is infinite. Plastic is definitely a powerful thing, so this can help. And obviously you don't have to use plastic, planks, or scrap metal to make a trash cube. So yeah, this is quite helpful, and I do recommend buying the plastic one. Planks, not really. Scrap, sometimes. I mean, you can technically go from island to island to get scraps. Chilies, very powerful in making the other dishes, including the turnamic. Catfish Deluxe gives you faster running speed, which is pretty good. You got the heartbeat, which basically gives you more health. You got increased lung capacity, so you can dive deeper. And, of course, swim a little faster with some spicy pineberry. Alright. Air horn is just for shits and giggles. Wardrobe is just to change clothing, so if you didn't pick that out in the main menu, now you can pick it here. You got the compass, which will always point north. This will basically tell you where the wind is going, I believe. I believe this just tells you where the wind is going. Because I think north is where wind always goes. If I remember correctly. Now I know what you're thinking, well, some of these are kind of garbage. I don't really want that. If you get enough reputation, you unlock the next tier. Would you look at that? 5 metal, 5 copper. Now you can buy this crap. So instead of it being, 10 to 15 metal per island, now it's 30 per island. Because you can buy 3 of these. And same thing with copper. You can also buy explosive powder, which means you don't have to worry about running out of explosive powder with the explodey heads. But trust me, it's a better way to get this. Cave mushroom in case you don't have enough. Obviously, you're going to be cooking a lot of shark dinners. This is helpful for one specific thing, but I don't like buying this for that specific thing. I like to buy this for other things. And shark dinner, obviously. Juniper only makes the hearty stew, which makes you survive 1 death. Tic-tac-toe with friends. Foundations tell you how many's on the boat. Horn is for fun. Then finally, advanced crop plot. Yep. Small crop plot, big crop plot, medium, all that. This is interesting. I'll talk about it later, but it does come with a massive downside. This has barely any downsides, making it the best. And this one comes with a massive downside, so we'll talk about that later. Get the chef's hat, the glasses, and the sailor hat, all for fun. And finally, tier 3. This is where all the broken crap is. Look at that! You get titanium. We don't even know what that is. That could be anything. You got scarecrows. What is that? You don't know. It's good for scaring away scarecrows, apparently. Seagulls. Got fridge. I like fridges. Long bridge, short bridge, a surfboard, a horn, a thingamajig, a canteen, a detail plank, a diving helmet, fishing hat, all that. Oh my god. Oh my god, so many cool things. We gotta get them. But we can't do it in one go. Yeah, they show you all these pretty things, but the bait is the only way to get these types of fish. And you only get 20 on the first island, which means you gotta go find 2 islands before you can even remotely get to the thing you want. The Fledwick. let's go. Yep, this is the name of the game now, which is basically get as much standing as you can to get to the tier 3. I mean, we could technically get to tier 2 then the next island, which is kind of what I want to do, but I'm thinking maybe just get to tier... Actually, maybe no. I might just stick where I am and just slowly build up reputation over time. We don't really need the titanium just yet. We'll call you... No. Terra. Done. Because obviously we only get one Frederick. He's the biggest, baddest boy. So he gets to have the boy name. And he gets all the harem he wants. Because he's Frederick. And he's a good boy. Alright. Do this. Yeah. Now I'm just thinking about Urgle. I feel bad for Urgle. Urgle should have gotten more screen time in Jurassic World Evolution. I might go back to that game someday, but not right now. Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, like and all that good stuff in the next episode of Raft, I will be at another island. I'm going to go fishing for a bit and sail forward, collecting as much plastic and stuff as possible. I don't really feel like killing the bird, and I don't really have any explosive goo or anything, and I don't really feel like fighting the explodies. I'd rather get plastic and wood, because that is what we are missing. I mean, like, actually, you know what? We might actually have enough. Actually, no, it's metal that we're missing. I can buy the metal. We'll get the tier 2 next episode, and then we'll buy the metal for the next area. Because honestly, this first episode is just meant to, like, bring us back into Raft, you know. Because I obviously haven't played in a little while, so... Well, I played to get to this point again, but, like, I stopped playing for a little while. But we'll talk about that next episode, which will be 2 days from now. So, haha. Yep, you only get one, and then after a day, I'll post another one. Mostly just shorts from now on. Shorts do better anyway, and honestly, I don't think anyone's really gonna watch many of these. It's fine. I do have like 1 or 2 people that actually watch, and thank you to those people who actually do watch and like and comment. Y'all are awesome. Sorry that if I make you feel like you're doing bad or something. I don't mean to do that. I just get really upset and just blame other people because it's a defense mechanism. But maybe we'll talk about that another day, not today. I'm just gonna go fishing and sail forward for a little bit. See you guys next time.